Welcome back to the Booty Trades Weekly Analysis. Today we'll be covering everything you need to know in this market for this upcoming week, as well as the 4 stocks you need to add to the top of the watch list. Let's start out with SPY here. So, like we talked about last week, getting some bounce off of major zone. So I broke it down to make it easier for you guys to see what are the major zones and what are the smaller, more like a day trade kind of zone. So the full black horizontal lines here are your major zones here on SPY. That's 586.5, 590.5, 604.4. Those are your 3 major zones that you need to really keep an eye for. So I have 2 other smaller zones here that are more for intradays. That's 597.5 as well as 608.2. So we see that SPY here is still holding above this 595 area here, and we are getting a lot of chop here. As expected there, after that huge drop down, bounced right off of this 586.5 area, and then we liquidated some bears here, as well as now we're getting that pullback. So is the run over? What's happening? um we talked about these past 2-3 weeks that we are going to get a lot of choppiness just because the market have ran up a lot in this past couple of months, and now we're getting that consolidation period there. So be very careful. It's still going to be a slow week this week with market closing on Wednesday due to the New Year's. So we'll get a little bit, less volume this week than expected. So be very careful with what you're playing there. So with SPY here, watch for that 595 area if you're looking to play on the long side. Make sure that holds, and we'll see a push back up to 604.4. If you're looking for day trades, looking for some quick money, and whatnot there, play off of this level here, 597.5. That's gonna be your upper zones to play the calls. Anything above that, we're probably looking for a move back up to 604.4. Anything under that, we'll probably kind of see a retest of this 595, and it's gonna be a little bit choppy on that way down there. So let's go take a look at QQQ here. Same thing here with QQQ. I have the 3 major zones here in black here at 510.3, 517, and 536. Then you have 3 minor zones here at 521.6, or what is this? Yeah, 521.6 area, 526.6, and 530. So we did hold this 517 area, so anything above that is going to be a bit bullish there. And as always, this is still choppy in the market just because this all of this holiday, you're not going to get as many traders end of the year, all of that BS there. So be careful on this chop because it will liquidate a lot of people here. So if you're looking for day trades on these, look for that top 526.6 level, to play the upside there. And then if you're looking for the downside play, look for that 521.76 area. Once that 521.6 area breaks, we're looking at a move back to 517. And then if we're looking at 526.8 breaks, we're looking at that 530 and even 536 there on the run. So those are the 2 major ETFs in the market. I want to direct our attention to the Hang Seng future index. This thing looked like it's about to blow. If you have stocks that are within the Hang Seng index there, this thing. I mean, we had a major run up, pullback, consolidation, and now, I mean, if you guys are into patterns, you guys can see that this is either a huge bull flag, or we can see a huge cup and handle here, or a small inverse head and shoulders, all of that there, or even a big inverse head and shoulder forming here. So there's a lot of different patterns within this whole mess, but we can see EMA starting to clump up and starting to cross over here as well. So Hang Seng Index, keep an eye on those. Keep an eye on those ETFs and the stocks that are within those. So let's go straight into the 4 stocks we're looking at this week. We have a couple repeat from last week there. So first one is gonna be Love, Southwest Airline here. Same thing. I had the 2 major zones here in the black here at 34.15 and 33.3 area. We're getting that rejection here right off of that 34.14. I would be careful even going long here yet. We had that bounce last week here when we talked about Love bouncing off and pumping, and we did get some sort of pump here. Not as much as I would like. I would like this thing to kind of cool down a little bit here, maybe a little bit of pullback here. Just to kind of get enough juice to break through that 34.15 area. These major zones require a lot of juice to get through, so a lot of time you have to pull back in order to liquidate some people and then get enough momentum and reset on the stochastic in order to break through that 34.15 area. So this one, let's see. We'll even let's throw in a yeah, so I want to see this thing pull back to that, 33.3 area. That is going to be where your 0.618 fib retracement, as well as your major zone there. So that's where I want to take my calls for love here, with your Southwest airline there. Next one is TSM. So TSM here did get that, push last week there. Hit that major zone here at 207.4. We got that big gap here that's, almost completely filled there. Let's take a look at the 4-hour here real quick there. 4 hours getting that nice reset with that pullback here. I want to take the call, somewhere around that 197 area here. That will complete the whole gap fill there, as well as bouncing off of a big zone here on TSM. So I still want to see TSM going a lot higher, but we did get that initial pump here last week with that huge gap up there. If you guys took that, that was a 5-6% day there for TSM, or even more than that. But let's see here. Oh yeah, that was a 5.7%. So look for that 197 pullback here before we take the call. Roblox is one that's very, very interesting spot. We've been consolidating for 3 weeks now. The only problem with Roblox here is most of the big money is not going to be on the support side here. So this one, we'll be watching for the 660-10 here. That's going to be a major zone here. That's going to give you, your upside to 61.45 as well as 63.21 here. But there's actually a chance for the short, even though there is a lot of bullish there. It may be even better to wait for this thing to hit 55. That is a long shot for a pullback. That's a long pullback there as well. With this being pretty bullish lately here. I mean, we could see here in the daily chart a lot of wicks here on the bottom here showing you that the bullish, the bulls are in control of Roblox. We're closing above the 9 EMA, so it is kind of in a weird spot right now for Roblox. I love the upside for it if we can break above that 60-10. But I wouldn't mind to see this thing pull back to 55. That 55 pullback would actually give us a pretty good idea of a pretty good bounce play there for Roblox as well. So NVIDIA was one that was also on our list last week there. We talked about this thing getting that continuation there above this 134.7 area. We got that gapped up ran. Now we pull back and getting retest at that 134.7 there. EMAs are starting to clump up here. We're starting to see, crossover on those. I want to see this 134.7 hold. If this thing holds this coming week, I'll probably get into some calls there. But at the same time, we will be getting a lot of choppiness there. I want to see this 134.7 hold as well. Or if you want to be on the safe side, play that 139 breakout. If you see that 139 breakout, we're probably gonna get that move to that 145 area.